Welcome to the Magic Hour with Paulie Malignaggi.
Proudly representing his hometown of Brooklyn, New York.
Paulie Malignaggi is a two-time world champ and Showtime boxing analyst. Joined by his sidekick, the world-famous Peter Cards, they break down boxing better than anyone on the planet. This is the Magic Hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Paulie, the Magic Man, Malignaggi.
Paulie Malignaggi, Peter Cards, Seth Nyman, The Magic Hour. We're back. First episode of 2018. We're getting a lot of tweets, a lot of complaints from people, bro. A lot of complaints at home saying what happened to the Magic Hour.
It's become the Magic Month, not the Magic Hour.
You're lazy.
Magic.
One show.
Oh, we all magic. Or we disappear sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we do.
That's the truth.
They don't start treating us better on this budget. We might have to start disappearing permanently.
Hey, speak for yourself about disappearing. I've been here the whole time waiting for you guys.
You know, damn, they want us to prioritize this shiznit. But we need some motivation over here. You guys, they gotta motivate us over here to do
Some
this.
green motivation.
Yeah. In terms of the color.
You want
green.
ganja? What do you want?
Well, no, we love our fans. We hope you guys. We're glad you guys stay patient with us, and we know I feel like that. You know, when your girlfriend, like, you know, she bothers you, and like when you tell her you never love her, and you tell her you never miss her or anything, like, and then you're like. And then she tells you, like, you never tell me you miss me. You never tell me you love me. That's how I feel about our fans. You know, like I kind of like it though. You know, when we skip a couple episodes and you know we start getting tweets about
feels good to
what's
be
going
missed.
on. Yeah, it feels good. Not that I want to make them unhappy.
Right.
But you know, sometimes I feel like that. I guess like the annoying girlfriend, you know, where like I want to hear it. You know? So.
Well, you went to Italy for 2 weeks. That was nice.
I did. I went to Italy. Before that, we had
You ate
holiday
like a
break.
fucking animal.
I did. I sure did.
What did you do?
And I did my damnedest
Like a
not to.
disgusting animal.
I did my damnedest not
What are you,
to.
202 now? What do you weigh?
No, I got my weights back down, bro. I do that thing called jogging. You know? Keep that shit back down. But it was a little bit out of hand at first, you know.
You saw the kids.
Yeah.
Christian and Alessio Cangelosi
Yes.
from Palermo, Sicily.
Palermo, that's where I'm from. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Sure.
Well, they went back and they're gonna return soon, and he went and spent 2 days with their family
Oh, nice.
because their family wanted to basically say thank you for all that he's done.
Oh,
for
they
them.
just cooked for you the whole time?
Oh,
Man, I got to go over there.
No, it was out of hand. It was out of hand. I mean,
How good?
pictures
What
on
was
Facebook where he's like giving the sign like he gives up, and they're just.
I had to throw in
the
the
pizza's
towel.
on its way.
They did the Arthur McCanty to me, bro. Like Arthur McCanty Jr. Where I threw in the towel and they threw it back out, and they just kept feeding me. You know.
What was the best thing you had? What was like the real like the?
I don't know. You know, there's like different places to get rice bowls. So the good place to get rice bowls, obviously, a top Sicilian rice bowl is always good. You know, I had the pasta con le seppie, which is like the black sauce. You know, squid ink.
Squid ink. Oh, I like that.
You know, that's
awesome.
that's top level. I had that in Palermo.
It's healthy too. It's good for you.
Yeah. No, I got news for you, kid. No pasta's healthy for you.
No. The squid ink, the actual ink,
Salty, though.
is good for you.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
amazing.
You know, the thing about Sicily especially is that it's an island, so there's a lot of fishermen, you know, and there's, you know, a lot of fish, and so you'd think like, oh, they eat good, you're gonna be healthy. The problem is they shove pasta up down your throat, and then they're known for their pastries too. So between the pastries and
They're
the
known for the
pasta,
pastries.
I'll kill you.
any fish you eat and you think you're doing healthy, you're not gonna be that healthy anymore, you know, because you're gonna end up, you know, having
you
pasta
have
and
a nice-
pastries,
nice
and you
fish
can't
with
say no,
lemon.
honestly. Like, you know, like
It's
at
very
first,
offensive.
First of all, it's very offensive. They actually do get offended, but also. It's so damn good. You realize, like, bro, I'm not gonna have this in the U.S. You know, it's very hard to find certain kind of customary dishes. You know,
Oh, please, you kidding
there's
me?
a lot of similar dishes in the U.S. Like, you know what people don't realize? Italian culture is different than Italian American culture. It's similar but different. Because I don't want to say it's totally opposite either.
Right.
It's similar but different. Like it's like an assimilation. You're Italian, you move to America, you become Italian American. That culture is different, and then you know,
You adapt to
and then your kids,
American and-
then your kids become American liberals, and we don't want to talk about that anymore. but you know,
Fuck those liberals.
but you know, it's interesting because you know it starts to kind of shape its own way. You know, think about like I remember Robin Black. He's an MMA reporter. I did his podcast, and he said something interesting about Chinatown. He said Chinatown is not like China. He said Chinatown is like China in 1941 dropped in the middle of New York, and then from there it evolved.
Right.
And I said, bro, That's genius. I said that's exactly what it is. You know,
Go out to San Francisco. They got a Chinatown that looks like China.
Does it?
Yeah, the architecture, everything.
Are you been to China?
No, I'm just saying.
So that's what I'm
I've
saying.
been to Chinatown, New York.
But that's what I'm saying.
But Chinatown, New York's
what
a
I'm
dump.
saying is even Little Italy, you could apply that to any culture, not just
Yes.
Chinatown. You could apply Italian American. I thought instantly of Italian American culture, and I thought instantly of how Italian American is similar but different. If that makes any sense to Italian culture. Like, bro, they don't put pepperoni on pizza in Italy. They don't.
No.
They don't.
What do they do with it?
I don't know what they do with it. I've never seen pepperoni. I've never actually seen pepperoni in Italy. Like, I don't think I've
The
ever
whole
seen
country
pepperoni.
or just Sicily?
Like in Italian, you say pepperoni.
Salami.
In Italian, you say pepperoni. You know what it is? It's peppers.
Right.
Pepperoni in
Pepperoncini.
Italian. No, pepperoncini is hot peppers.
Yes.
Pepperoni is just peppers.
All right.
So you go to the pizzeria. You say you want pepperoni. They're gonna give you peppers on a pizza. I mean now
That's the way it is.
actually
It's a little more
Americanism. No, Americanism has now traveled over the whole world. Because I don't want to even say English. I would say American because the American culture is and the English especially and even the English language in general is understood all over. So I think now if you go to like a main city like Rome or Milan, if you say pepperoni, they might realize like, yo, this guy's American. He might think it's the other thing, you know. But a lot of places, like I've never seen it even as an option.
So what
to
is
top
like?
a pizza?
So what's on the pizza over there?
Well, first of all, they make a lot of like personal pizzas over there, like
La pizzetta.
smaller pizzas. You know, that's when you order pizza. A lot of times it's a personal pizza, and then some of the popular toppings are
Anchovies.
like anchovies or sardines.
Mushrooms.
Yeah, they have mushrooms, or they like a lot, which I don't like mushrooms.
I love mushrooms. Prosciutto.
Hard-boiled eggs.
Prosciutto.
Hard-boiled eggs
Ooh, I like
sliced.
that.
You know, peas, hard-boiled eggs and peas sliced.
Oh, I'd eat that.
Peppers, peppers, onions, olives.
Oh, onions is really good.
Yeah.
The pizza with the onions on it.
Onions make
and,
everything better.
They have
They put prosciutto once in a while.
yeah, prosciutto, which I don't like because prosciutto in Italian, if you say prosciutto in Italian, you'll get ham. You won't get prosciutto. Prosciutto in Italian is ham. Prosciutto crudo is what American prosciutto is. And what that means, prosciutto crudo means raw ham. That's translated, that means raw ham. And I really think, when I see it cooked on pizza, I really think it's raw because if you put prosciutto crudo on pizza, prosciutto, what Americans call prosciutto, and in Italian is prosciutto crudo, and they make the pizza, it comes out looking like ham. Like I feel like, so it's like, maybe it really is raw ham, and like then they cook
It's
it.
just made a different way.
It comes out looking like ham, and I don't like ham,
years to
bro.
make.
I like prosciutto, but I don't like ham. You know.
I got this place that makes prosciutto bread. Oh my god!
But you see, just of what we're talking about in these 5 minutes, you see like it's similar but different. You know, it's kind of cool. And anyway, going back to what
also-
Robin Black said, you know, it's like you took Italy in 1914 or something or whatever. A ton of Italians were coming here, and you dropped it in New York. And then from there, it kind of evolved, you know? It didn't evolve like the rest of Italy did. As a matter of fact, I speak Italian a little bit differently than Italians. I speak Sicilian a little bit differently than the Sicilians because even the language over there evolves differently than it does here, you know? So you know, obviously we all understand each other, but they can tell I'm not from Italy,
The
you know?
most important thing, though, is that you're leaving out is
That's why I got you here.
everything is so fresh. And
Yeah.
that's why.
That's Europe too, right?
Right.
Other countries
There's
I've been to.
there's no
It's-
preservatives in
they
the
sell out.
vegetables.
It's fresh. The kid's father, actually Giuseppe, Alessio and Christian's father, was telling me they're starting to do that in Italy too, which
They
really
are.
really breaks my heart. You know,
But
Selling out.
he knows the different markets. He's like,
Yeah.
I know these are
Yeah, he knows
really
where to
really
go.
natural, and like he goes to his friend the fisherman in
which,
the morning.
which
and
I'm
gets the
sure,
fish for the day.
like in the north, it's probably more urbanized and more commercial. They probably have less
Rome
fresh
and-
fresh
yeah.
stuff.
Right.
You know,
Big cities.
in Sicily is where we grow it. You know,
Right.
even the agriculture that is up north, they bring it up from Sicily. You know, so you know we have it first, regardless. In the south. So, you know, you got to know where to go and where not to go. He was actually telling me, Giuseppe was actually telling me about when the kids are training, he gets them real chickens. And I'm like, don't tell me you guys got those fake chickens over here too where they just inject them. He goes, yeah, bro. He goes, they're starting to do it here too, man. It's
At least-
a shame.
at least
He
we're
goes,
starting to
"But
label this shit, though, now,
But he goes,
you know?
I know the markets where they get the real chickens, you know?
Real chickens.
they
Can you
do it
imagine?
Where they have, it's crazy. It's crazy, bro.
Crazy world we live
Yo,
in.
think
man.
about like the generations. I think like this probably millennials are gonna be the first generation that is is eating preservatives and GMOs their whole life.
Yeah.
Think about it. Like, because even like our grandparents, maybe they're eating them now, but like when they, like 80, 70, 80 years ago, this stuff wasn't inside food, So the millennials are going to be the first generation to eat preservatives and GMOs with their food for their whole life. So we'll see how they age. I mean, they're already the stupidest generation we ever saw. Now we got to wonder if they're going to get sicker too, and that's a shame.
But we're not
It really
speaking.
is.
Wait, we're not talking about you millennial fans of this show. The other millennials.
No,
Yes.
I might be. They still love us. Don't worry. I get it. You guys like my boxing talk and a lot of other stuff.
Melentards?
I don't know.
All right. This is not that show.
All right.
We're not doing
I
that
gotta
show.
Give credit. I got to give credit to Asian people.
Oh boy, here we go.
Asian people.
Talking to Mike, will you?
No, seriously. I walk around by my house.
Why don't you
right?
raise the mic instead of putting
I'm
your head
trying.
down?
This
Like
thing keeps moving. It moves all over the place.
There you go.
Hey, there you go.
So, like in Bensonhurst, there's so many Asian people, right? They're very peaceful people to stay to themselves. But if you smell, like I'm walking the dog.
Yeah, you smell.
They
It's
make
crazy. You smell the
Asian
Chinese food. It smells so
it
good.
It smells like a Chinese
And bro,
restaurant.
you know what's
But
crazy?
It's all healthy shit, bro. They're
No.
not eating.
Not all Chinese food is healthy.
No,
but
what I'm saying is
they're
get
making healthy
the
stuff.
vegetables from
But you know
from
what's
the
crazy?
Market.
The neighborhood used to smell like red sauce on Sundays.
Right.
Like, now it smells like Chinese food.
It went from
it still
sugu-
smells good.
It went
I'm
from
not gonna lie.
sugu. It went from smelling like usugu to fucking wonton soup.
Yeah.
I'll eat all of it, man. It all
But
sounds good to me.
you actually smell it when you walk by some of the houses and you're like, oh, the neighborhood changed. I mean, you still smell the food.
But it's funny,
still cultured. That's what I like. Because you go by a millennial neighborhood, or not a millennial, sorry. You go by a liberal neighborhood, nobody's gonna cook.
No.
One thing about
Starbucks.
liberals and especially millennials, it's they don't cook, they don't
clean.
drive, and they don't buy houses.
They don't clean.
They don't clean.
Well, they don't buy houses, so they feel like they don't need to clean. But so you won't go to like Carroll Gardens, which used to be also very Italian and smell food over there. You know what I'm saying? You won't go. Actually, Carroll Gardens is probably a little bit Puerto Rican too, right on the edge of Red Hook, right?
Yeah.
So you could smell the cultured food
Absolutely.
there. Now it just when it gentrified, there's no culture. You know what I mean? You're not gonna smell that food. I don't know. Maybe I'm being selfish and I'm just a fat pig at heart. But I love smelling the cultured food, bro. I love that. At least Bensonhurst still has that. Maybe some other neighborhoods don't, but at least we still have that in my neighborhood.
Well, welcome back, guys.
Yeah.
We're back.
Welcome back. Speaking of Bensonhurst,
Welcome
welcome back.
welcome back,
I bet you guys didn't know what we're talking about. Some of you older fans are gonna know. That's what is it? That's the Welcome Back Kotter opening credits song. And Welcome Back Kotter, the opening credits is videoed in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. But I got one even better for you. The block where they show in the opening credits where they pan out.
That they go to.
The school is Utrecht High School where I went to high school.
Oh,
but the block is my grandparents' block. I grew up on that block.
Oh, that's cool.
When they pan out and you see the train, bro, that's my block. Like a whole New York City in blocks.
We'll write a letter.
But when I was a kid, because by the time I was a kid, Welcome Back Kotter was off the air. Right? You know what I'm saying? It was just reruns. I was like, is that my block? Like, it's not, like you're thinking like you start because you haven't seen most of the world yet, so you start even most of New York for that matter. So you're thinking like, is there another block that might look like this block? Like that looks a lot like my block, but can it really be my block?
That's funny.
my
That's
block.
like the kids when the kids are here and
Up your nose with a rubber hose.
I'm watching
the best.
I'm watching Rocky with them, and they see the train tracks in Philly, and they're like, "That looks like Brooklyn over here." I'm like, yeah, the cities pretty much look the same.
Yeah, Philly's cool, man.
For all you guys, YouTube, Welcome Back Kotter opening credits, and you'll see.
Actually, that's a big hit song too. The theme of that show is a big hit.
You'll see the block I grew up on. Obviously, it's a little different now. The dirt on the field for the high school is now all astroturf and fake grass. They actually put some money into it. But until I was a teenager,
and then they're doing work on it again.
Yeah, they're doing work on it again just to kill taxes. Nice. But until I was a teenager, it was just the way it is in the opening credits. It was all brown dirt, like just the way you'll see it in the opening credits. But then when I was a teenager, they right after my teenage years, right after I was out of high school, they turned it into astroturf and whatnot. And now they redid the astroturf for no reason, just to
a baseball
just to
more turf
and they did
for
it to all the
baseball.
schools. In New York City, just to
for European
keep spending tax money for New York City residents. It's all good.
For our European fans, that's where John Travolta got his start. He was a star
Welcome
of
Back
that
Kotter.
show.
Yeah,
yes.
Welcome Back
Mr.
Kotter was where John
Kotter.
Travolta got his start. Even before Saturday Night Fever, which is also filmed in my neighborhood. John Travolta was basically a Bensonhurst legend, and he's not even from Bensonhurst.
He went
Between Welcome Back Kotter and Saturday Night Fever,
and he went to Lenny's Pizza. That's where he had the double slices.
And Lenny's Pizza's still there. Most of the establishments in that movie, or probably almost all of them, are not there.
The paint store's not
Pizza.
The paint store?
Lenny's Pizza. No, the Lenny's Pizza was not there either. But Lenny's Pizza's still there. That's how you know the guy probably bought the building. Because if you're paying rent and paying a lease, everybody always eventually leaves. The lease got too high. But if you buy the building, you can keep the place open all the time. So Lenny's is still open, which is really cool. If you go by
under the tracks.
I'm giving you a little bit of a.
Why don't we do a giveaway?
Giving you guys a little bit of Brooklyn and Bensonhurst. Brooklyn and Bensonhurst history. You know, I get so like giddy with this stuff. You know, I don't know.
Let's see. All right, well, that's all the time we have.
Let's talk boxing. All right, let's talk some boxing.
Let's talk about what we just saw, man. You were there.
We just saw the guy who a lot of people are saying is the best welterweight in the world. Obviously, Keith Thurman and even like say Terrence Crawford, and maybe some other guys will have something else to say about that. But you know, Errol Spence looked like his nickname on Saturday night. He looked like the truth. I mean, he was vicious. Love the technique and the balance.
Man,
always
he
in great
never
position.
lie.
Yeah, always the truth. Always in great position to make you pay, to make you feel panicky and whatnot. I'll tell you, credit to Lamont Peterson. He came out ready
Tough
for the fight.
dude,
You could tell he trained hard for the fight.
Good
It
guy,
was funny.
too,
I
man.
mentioned during the fight, you know, the posture and the balance on both these guys was terrific. You know, it was just one was too strong and you know, just sharper and younger, you know, and bigger.
why
But
they have weight
Lamont
classes.
was sharp Saturday night. It was just, you know, it was just happened to be fighting Errol Spence.
I said he was fighting with BBs against the guy with an AK-47. That's pretty much what it was.
You know, like,
Yeah,
he was
nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
he was ready to fight. You know, somber moment in the corner when Barry Hunter stopped the fight. You know, you see the communication, the love they have for each other, the respect more so than that.
It's like
you know?
his son. Forget about a fight.
Yeah, but even Lamont, you know, like
Lamont
he was
said,
ready
"It's
to
up
go
to you."
fight. Barry didn't stop it when he was still sitting down in the corner. Like,
but even the round before
Lamont
that.
was ready. Lamont was ready to stand up and go back out, and then Barry said, "No, I'm not."
Even
doing
2 rounds before that, Barry said, "I don't really like what's going on here. You're not doing what we talked about."
Yeah, but what did Lamont say? He said, "Stop talking about it. Either you do it or you don't do it, or something like that, right?"
Well, he trusts him. He said, make the call.
Either you're gonna stop it, or if not,
No,
stop.
2
If not,
rounds
stop.
before that.
If not, stop talking about
He
it.
said,
I'm
"I'm good. I'm good."
Yeah.
Something like that. He said, "I'm good. I'm good," and he's like, "All right." You know, and then you could tell that Barry was like, "All right, this kid's taking too many shots."
I love how Errol measures distance correctly. You try to step in, he takes just enough step out, but not too far of a step out to where he's reaching to hit you again. And then if you step out and he steps in, he's not stepping too far in to where he's smothering himself and not getting leverage on his shots. Like his little steps, if he's got to step back or if he's got to step around or even if he has to step in, never monopolize. Never put in jeopardize, not monopolize. Sorry, got a little too confused there. Never jeopardize him having the proper distance on leveraging his shots. And even the knockdown, if you watch it, I didn't get to talk to it about it on the air because
He took a step back. He was ready to come back.
He took a step back. Lamont, I tweeted it. Lamont in that little. In that knockdown sequence, tries to step in a little bit, get his head in Errol's chest. What he's doing is he's trying to protect himself. He's trying to take away the punching distance of Errol by smothering. You know, because he doesn't want to give ground. Because if you constantly give ground, you're gonna go into flight and you're gonna give the guy too much confidence coming forward. So sometimes instead of going back, you go in. You cause a clinch, you body to body, and you kind of push him. You try to be able to bully sometimes, whatever it is. It's just a choice you decide to make.
Take him out of his rhythm.
Yeah.
Maybe, right?
So Lamont tries to step in, get his head in Errol's chest, and you see Errol just kind of the half step back and then drops that left hit and drops him. I also love, one thing I love with Errol is the way he's constantly, if he steps back or if he steps in or whatnot, he got that right hand up, just kind of as a distance finder, as a range finder. You know what I mean? Like even when he steps back, he puts it up. You know what I mean? Just to not give you too much confidence stepping in, but also he can also measure you. Yeah,
his awareness is amazing.
His awareness is phenomenal. I mean, this kid, the subtle things about this kid are phenomenal.
I think you were also gonna say the shot that he knocked Lamont down with.
That's the one. Yeah.
He went like this with his hands. I think he actually took a step there just in case Lamont didn't go down. He was in position to throw again. But
before he threw the left hand, he takes a half step back.
Yeah.
Before and that's to regain the distance lost from Lamont smothering. You know what I'm saying? And the trick. The precision about that is a lot of times you step back too far when you do that because you see the guy coming in. You don't know if he's going to smother or you don't know if he's going to punch. So a lot of times your instinct is to step back a little too far, a little further out of range and just restart again. Instead, Errol didn't do that. Errol took just enough space to keep punching distance, and then he let go of the shot. Real alert. Real cognizant of distance. Real smart fighter, man. Real smart fighter.
Very enjoyable to watch. As a fan, it's just fun. He's fun to watch fight.
Somebody tweeted me that day. They said, "What would you? He seems like the truth. What would you? What would you do to make him even better?" I don't even know, bro. I don't even know.
He's a student in the game.
I guess you got to see him test it a little bit, see if anybody can test him. He did take a couple of clean shots from Lamont Peterson here and there. But it's a fight. You're going to take shots.
And he's a good fighter,
I'd
Lamont,
rather,
right? I mean, come on.
I mean, if anything, and I don't even know if it's so much of a criticism because, like I said, you're in a fight. Everybody's going to get hit. But I did wonder after the fight, if that was Keith Thurman's right hand, would there have been some respect, a line of respect drawn right there if Errol has to take a right hand from Thurman
he didn't
as opposed to
respect
Lamont
Brooks.
Peterson?
And I look at you guys. I look at your Twitter, and people like, oh, Thurman will kill Spence. Spence will kill Thurman. Spence will kill Crawford. Like these guys are all top
they're
fighters,
all,
man.
No one's getting killed.
You can't be solid with your pick with any of those guys.
This is also a new weight class for Terrence Crawford.
He has to earn his stripes in 47.
And every weight class you go up, just like Lamont Peterson, who was a solid 140-pounder, at 147 pounds, you have a hard time getting your respect. You have a hard time getting being a physically strong guy in there against a physical welterweight. There's a lot to overcome when you come up to welterweight because now you're dealing with skills of a top guy, but also you're naturally smaller. Again, this is why I used to criticize Pacquiao for so long, because it was like he wasn't even moving up. He kept his power, kept his chin, kept everything. That is not the case. What is actually the case when you move up in weight is what happened to Lamont Peterson on Saturday night. Suddenly you're not be able to get the same respect when you land a clean shot. You're not able to take the same kind of punching power that you might have been able to take before because these guys are stronger, these guys are bigger. And, they're not respecting your power, but you're respecting theirs even more, So you got to be cunning, you got to be more clever. And Crawford can be cunning and clever. Right. He really can. I think he's got the skills to. But a real physical guy like a Jeff Horn has my curiosity. That's why I keep saying I think that's a good fight.
And I respect what you say about weight classes. Isn't every guy a little different, though? Like, like a Robert Easter, for example. He's such a tall, rangy guy. You would feel like he could fill out a little bit and be very
I think it
successful.
I think it helps certain guys to have the height to be able to fill out, but they're still naturally smaller. I mean, Alexis Arguello. Look at Alexis Arguello. You know what I'm saying? He went up. He was tall. He was the little thin, the explosive thin man, right? I mean, at 26, he was destructive. At 30, 35 even. He got to 40. He couldn't handle Aaron Pryor. That's it, bro. That's it. It only comes to a certain degree anymore. That's it. I mean, the weight classes matter. You know what I'm saying? And when they stop mattering, you're watching guys that are on drugs. I'm sorry to break the news to you guys. I'm sorry to break your real life DC Comics comic book reading time. But I'm gonna give it to you the way it is.
I mean, listen, we all know Crawford's a great fighter. And we're talking
Crawford
about
is going to have to win by being cunning and being really, really slick, obviously, but also being really intelligent. And he has all those qualities. He has all those qualities to be successful at welterweight. My question is, does he have those qualities to be successful against the very, very, very elite welterweights? Right. Thurman and Spence, obviously. And Horn may be a level below Thurman and Spence, but what Horn does is he physically makes up for it with a very physical style. And for a guy smaller coming up in weight, that sparks my curiosity, because that is the kind of stuff that a smaller guy has more trouble with, the physicality of the naturally bigger guy. So it'll be interesting. I think the Crawford fight is going to be interesting. I think watching Thurman and Spence continue to heat up this rivalry that I think I think it's going to keep getting marinated a little bit for the next year.
I think people are a little premature in criticizing Thurman, though.
Guy's got elbow surgery.
He had surgery, and he's taking a comeback fight against. They're talking about Jesse Vargas.
Yeah,
that's not a
former champion.
No, he's not going to fight Jesse Vargas anymore.
He's not.
They don't have
but he was gonna.
Yeah, but
he's
here's the
not
thing.
Looking for like
everybody's
an
expert now, and so today's social media age, any idiot became an expert now, because they can share the opinion and then make the next guy stupid. Right. You know what I mean? So now there more ways to share stupid opinions, and so everybody gets stupider now. But the reality of it is, this is nothing different than ever happened in the past. I mean, like I said, did Ray Robinson? I've said this before. Did Ray Robinson need to knock out Bobo Olsen 4 times? I mean, what, they didn't get the memo the first 2 times that he was better than him? Like at least if one of the fights was competitive, I'd say, you know what, all right.
And beat Jake LaMotta 5 times.
Right.
Like at least if one of, but at least I'm not to beat him. Like this guy not only lost 4 times, he got knocked out all 4 times. Like you had no reason to ever give him a 3rd and 4th fight.
Well,
even
they
a
fought every
second
2 weeks. They had to fight somebody.
So,
But
even Sugar Ray Leonard, the guy he beat after the Tommy Hearns win, the huge win, Tommy Hearns, and then he came back against Bruce Finch. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Everybody does this. You can't expect guys to fucking take on top guys every single time.
War after war after war.
You talked about...
It's also availability of fighters. There's also guys wanting to get in the ring with each other.
Yeah.
Also, you just came off a tough fight. Readjust a little bit. This is if you have the right team. If you have one of those teams that doesn't get any dates and all you find yourself doing is trying to get a monster after another because that's the only way you get paid, and you're fucked. I'm sorry to break the news to you. That actually happened to me at a lot of points in my career. But it's otherwise, the right way to bring along a fighter is, not from one super fight to another super fight to another super fight.
You burn him out.
Build up a super fight, win it, kind of come down a little bit with a guy who's good but still not a super fight, and 1 or 2 of those, and then back up to a super fight. That's how you maneuver a guy's career. They're human beings.
Without burning him out.
You talked about as a champ, you had a young Thurman coming up calling you out. Like it didn't make sense for you from a business standpoint either to fight him yet. Take the big risk with the less reward. We had Thurman on the show, and he said the same thing. Like he said,
Earl
he didn't understand at the
Spence
time.
is the Thurman now.
Right, correct.
Yeah.
And now the time is coming where it's going to make sense. So
you know what? I remember when he was calling me out like that. I remember thinking, he'll find out one day what I'm talking about.
And he knows now.
Because there was a time when I didn't understand what I was talking about in that moment. There was a time in my career where I wanted to fight everybody,
Showing
and I didn't
up to
understand
people's press conferences.
Yeah, showing up at people's press conferences and yelling at everybody.
Let's go, champ.
Yeah. So there comes a point where eventually you learn about that. So when I was saying that to Thurman, it's because by that point in my career I had learned it. But I was once the guy who was younger, wanted to fight everybody, was undefeated, and wanted to get in there and do it. And I remember thinking, in the moment, obviously I wanted to make my point, and because I didn't want to look stupid in front of the media, so I had to educate him in front of the media. But I always knew, like I said, because this guy knew the guy was the truth. I knew he was good. I said, it's gonna be the day where
everybody's calling him out.
He's gonna find out what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be at the top of the game, and he's gonna understand what I'm saying. I felt that at that time, and truthfully, it ends up being against the truth. It ends up being against Errol Spence. Where now he's kind of in that situation where now he's got to think things through and make the fight happen at the right time. And I think when this fight does happen at the right time, I think it's 12 to 15 months away. I think it's going to be a phenomenal fight, explosive fight.
Well, you don't
and
think
I think
it
it's a pay-per-view
happens
fight. No, I don't think it happens this year.
Because Errol said he wants to stay busy and fight 3 times.
Errol's the guy who doesn't know yet. You know what I'm saying? Errol's the
course.
guy who's younger and he just wants to fight everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, but honestly, I don't see it happening. I see Keith taking a comeback fight, a little tune-up fight, then maybe a Jesse Vargas type of opponent, and he gets through those unscathed, and then maybe Errol next year.
What happens with Sean Porter is a mandatory. I mean, you said, that doesn't necessarily matter. You pay these guys to step aside. I mean,
I don't know. Sean in an interview said he was going to wait them out. I don't know if that's necessarily the best move either. I think you got to stay busy and fight.
Yep.
I don't know. It's very interesting because Sean is maybe the mandatory for the WBC title. Who knows? Maybe Keith even vacates it. And,
well, Keith's fighting in April, right? You said. I mean, who's to say that Keith and Errol can't fight in November? I mean, it's possible, right?
Wouldn't Porter also be up there in the IBF, being that he had it? They always recycle
he's not.
him.
They usually do. He's out of the IBF rankings.
Really?
Yeah.
So weird.
He's out of the IBF rankings altogether.
They're the type of people like Robert Easter beat Comey, a year ago?
Yeah, and he's back as a man.
Comey's about to fight for the #1 ranking again. Just like you're going to have to rematch Comey.
They stripped me because I didn't fight Ngujo again.
Right. In the same year. You fought him January. They want you to fight him in
And
November.
Easter won that fight convincingly.
No, either won it.
It was close.
All right,
close
so
fight.
at least
I was really disappointed in Easter. He's one of my favorite fighters to watch. Yes, because he gives up his height way too much. Smothers himself.
He did it again
too much.
Saturday night.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Saturday night.
Yeah. Well, he's done it before. He did it in the Shavakov fight.
He gets
does it in
hit
the
with
Coleman
shots
fight.
that he should not get hit with. That's the problem. Because I'm very high on Robert Easter. I always say he's the best one out of the About Billions crew, in my opinion.
But if you go in a ring with a Mikey Garcia fighting like that, you're not going to win the fight.
No, you're not. And that's the thing. It's
I
about,
said
it's about making choices.
I lean towards Robert Easter against Lomachenko. Not if he fights like that, though.
No.
It's about making choices. I mean, when you're that tall and that rangy, you have more choices you can make. So you got to make the right ones. You know, you have. It's a gift to be able to make those kind of choices. You know, be able to have such a varied options of choices because you're so much taller than everybody else, and you can actually have more options than maybe a guy who's smaller who might fight like you but is shorter and doesn't have as many options. You know, so you got to you have to really understand that decision making and have the maturity inside the ring. And Robert's still young, man. I mean, Robert is what is he, 25?
Something like that.
20. You know, Robert.
He's tough. He's tough. I'll tell you
Robert
that.
is a young kid.
He has a great chin. He got hit with a good shot the other night.
Yeah.
And you
I couldn't
analyzed
believe
it
Fortuna
perfect.
took the shot and
Took
came right
the
back.
right hand and came back with a left hand.
Yeah.
But Robert Easter was cocking that hook.
Yeah, that's the one you don't see.
Right.
Yeah.
26.
He's 26 years old. See?
He's young.
Well, actually, he's going
in
to turn
his prime.
27 this week.
This is his prime.
But
This
still,
is your prime
that's what
years.
I'm saying, bro.
Yep.
At
This
that
is when
age,
you become a man. You have
at that age,
experience.
you're getting better. You're enjoying your world championship. It'll be interesting. I think the Comey versus who's he fighting? The eliminator Comey, Avila or something. What's the guy's name?
When's that fight?
Oh, March 10th. It's on the made up date for the Mikey Garcia Lipinets fight.
Just Google Richard
Click for more
Comey
details.
if
No, I
anything.
got the card here. I
Oh.
just got to click for the
You
card.
can check who Comey, probably on Box Strike, it'll probably say. But Comey, I'm
He's
curious
a
to see how he
tough dude.
looks.
He's a
Comey's
tough
also
dude.
another one who's been a hard luck guy. You know what I mean? He got lost a close one to Shafikov in the eliminator. He had to go to Russia to do it, though, so you're not going to get treated very fairly. Had to fight Easter in Ohio in another very close fight.
Alejandro Luna. He's
Alejandro
fighting.
Luna. He's fighting Alejandro Luna. Isn't Alejandro Luna our Showtime guy who does the Showtime Espanol? I think
He's fighting him. Yeah, he's fighting the announcer.
I think
His
it's
cousin.
name.
This is his nephew.
He lost split decision to Eastern. He lost a split decision to
Shafikov.
Yes.
In their hometowns, in both
Yeah.
guys' hometowns. So it's close, you know?
That Comey Easter fight was awesome. That was a great
But you know
fight.
what's crazy, bro? I want to see Comey against other guys. You know, I don't want to see Comey and Easter again.
No, that's what I'm saying. So
I
now-
want to see Comey against
So
other top
Easter-
lightweights.
Easter's
You know, like
in the
Comey-
situation
Well, he's
where
gonna have to
you
fight Comey
were.
again.
Right, Easter's in the situation you were when Thurman's like calling you out. Comey, not that he's calling him out, but it becomes the number one again. This guy wants to fight Mikey Garcia. He wants to fight guys that bring money.
Yeah, of course. Well, that's what happened to me. I had to drop the IBF title to fight Ricky Hatton,
People
you know?
think, of course you achieve your dream by becoming a world champion, but that it equates to money. It all comes down to money.
business.
Setting your future up.
Prize fighting.
Right.
You're fighting for
The belt
a prize.
is nice to put on the shelf and say I became a champion of the world.
Yo, Adrian, I did
But
it.
it's
Yeah.
really about just securing your future. And there's only a certain window to do
And
it.
that's what Paulie said. You take
It's
a
about
big fight
securing
after
your,
big
it's
fight.
about securing your future, but I got to be honest, you also live to dream about those moments. So when you're the champion of the world, you want to be able to partake in those moments that, you dreamed of. Big press conferences, big fights, all that stuff. It's about you got to make sure you get paid for them. You want to make sure you get paid correctly for them. And that kind of that kind of give and take balance turns you off sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you're not getting compensated correctly for a fight you may want to take, for an opportunity you may want to fight. I was just talking to Philo Greco, a buddy from Canada. Italian American Sicilian. He got an offer to fight Amir Khan. Very low offer. Very low offer. I thought, I understand it's a comeback fight for Amir Khan. I understand Phil probably hasn't done much in his career to merit a lot of money, but I thought a little more money would have been a little bit more respectable for a situation to train for a fight like Amir Khan, where you're going to have to pay sparring partners, you're going to have to pay trainers, you're going to have to pay for training camp, you're going to have to, fly to the other side of the world to fight him. It's tough. It's a tough situation where you start to, you had all these dreams to partake in these kind of fights, and then suddenly you got to find yourself having to make certain decisions. Do you go for these fights that you dreamed of, even if you're being underpaid? And sometimes it's a give and take, man. It's hard.
No doubt. I'm looking at the schedule too. We're waiting on these big fights, right? But there's some fights that are just under that. We want Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua, but they both have big fights coming up, this way.
Yeah,
and,
they do.
And we're talking about welterweights too, and Danny Garcia's coming back against like a perfect opponent for him. I mean,
Yeah, but honestly, you might say a perfect opponent, but Danny's not exactly the most nimble guy on his feet. He punches with you. He's going to hit you. Rios is showing a great chin, and Pete. I know you said he's only going to come a certain point where he's going to not have a great chin anymore because he's been hit so much. But so far, bro, I don't have any reason to doubt Brandon Rios' chin.
I've been wrong so far.
So I don't have any reason to doubt Brandon Rios' chin so
far. I thought Pacquiao was going to stop him.
That kid is all man, bro.
No
And
doubt.
I think Danny is a better fighter, especially at this point. Yeah, he does.
I when he did to slight him,
But
he's
Brandon,
tough as nails.
But Brandon is coming to fight. I'm telling you, I personally think stylistically this fight's actually going to be fun.
No, it's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
I just think Danny has
Too much
everything better.
skills. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think Danny eventually wins it,
His
but I don't
form is
think I don't
better.
think he wins it very easily. I'm telling you.
No,
he's
he's
gonna
going
win
to
it.
be in his face the whole time.
Yeah, I
But,
think it's going to be one of those fun to watch
Danny's hand
fights. You're gonna have,
positioning is better.
yeah, but Danny doesn't punch short all the time. He punches with you, and that's how he's going to catch you. Danny's sense of timing is top notch. That's his best asset. When you guys think he's looking down and just throwing, he's actually understanding where you are position wise.
Yeah.
He sees your feet are in range, and he's whipping shots, punching with you. Because if he's not punching with you, those shots are going to miss. You're just going to step out. He understands when you're
That's how
stepping
he
in to
got
punch.
Amir.
That's how you got Amir. You're punching, so when you're punching, you're not going to step out.
Amir got greedy.
You're going to be in that pocket.
He's throwing
And
9-punch combinations.
That's Danny's
Yes.
best asset. He got Eric Morales like that too.
Yes.
He got Mike Arnudis like that too. I remember when he knocked out Mike Arnudis early in his career. I was watching that fight. It's very particular, and it takes a lot of balls to do that
Absolutely.
because you got to stay there knowing the guy's stepping in to punch. You got to stay there, not make any move defensively, because if you make a move defensively, it's called a counter punch. It's not punching with him. See, there's a difference between a counter punch and punching with somebody. Very subtle difference. And Danny's not making this counter punching moves because he's not very smooth or slick like that. He's got the balls to stand his ground as you're coming in and attacking him, keep his chin low, and whip that shot. It's a very unique style he's got. Very unique
about
game
balls.
planning.
Talk about
balls,
balls.
bro. I'm telling you, because
He did it with Thurman too.
Yeah, he did it with
You're
Thurman too.
taking right hands from Thurman, knowing you're going to get hit with the right hand and try to whip something in between.
Yeah, because you're
That's
trying
balls.
your intention is not to get hit, obviously. Your intention is for your shot to get there before the other guy does as you're punching with him. But of course,
But there's a risk
There's
there.
a risk there because you're punching with somebody, so anybody could land. But he keeps his chin down real low. You know what I mean? If you watch, that's why people
He has
thought
a great
that's
chin.
why people thought he was like looking down when he knocked out Amir Khan. I was like, bro, he's not looking down. He knew exactly what he was doing in that moment, and it just
He came up short a few
It was
times.
on the button.
He came up short a few times, and Amir
And I remember I called it. I remember I was calling that.
fucking him up.
I remember I was calling that fight for
Remember.
BBC Radio. I remember my friends. So it's a big shout out to my friends at BBC Radio. They were one of the people that got me started commentating, and I remember saying the round before, I said Danny's starting to really get closer and closer. Danny's punching with Amir, and he's getting closer and closer. Amir's having a great rounds, great first 3 rounds for Amir Khan. I remember saying it, great first 3 rounds for Amir Khan. But he's got to be careful. Danny's punching with him, and he's starting to get closer. He's starting to land on the shoulder. Like he went from catching just air, and then in round 3 he was landing on the shoulder,
hit him in the
landed on the
chest.
back, the chest, yeah. And you're like, oh man, this is getting closer. And Amir doesn't see it.
No.
Nobody.
Amir's greedy.
He's not fainting. You know what I mean? Because the way you throw that off is you faint. And now you kind of leave him there stuck in the mud as he wants to punch with you.
And how about not throwing a 7-punch combination?
Yeah,
Maybe just
of course,
leaving
of
it
course.
off at 3.
But that's on Amir.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I remember when I didn't hear Freddie in the corner tell Amir, oh, he's punching with you. I said, yo, man, this could get bad. And the next, I didn't know it was gonna get bad the very next round,
Right.
But it got bad the very next round because I wanted to see if Freddie was gonna tell Amir, oh, yo, he's punching with you. Just watch that, throw a feint or something, whatever. Make the adjustment. He's punching with you and he's getting closer. Once he didn't get any of those instructions. I mean, granted, if you're Amir, you also have to see it yourself. I mean, come on, bro.
Right.
Shots start to
Right.
touch you on the shoulder and the chest.
Right.
Yeah, they weren't touching anything before. You got to see it. But regardless, once he didn't get the instructions in the corner, I'm like, oh man, I'm very
This could
curious.
be really bad.
And I didn't know it was gonna be the next round, but man, when he got him, he got him bad. I think, actually, it was at the end of the third, right? Was he in the third or the end of the fourth? Because he survived.
Fourth. He
He
survived.
survived the fourth, and then he got knocked out in the fifth.
Yeah, he got hurt with the big hook in the 4th, I think.
Yeah, he got
He
dropped.
was dizzy all over
No,
the
when he
place.
went down, it was the first big hook dropped him.
Yeah,
Remember? Like
yeah.
he dropped him like a sack of potatoes, bro. That was bad. That was a bad knockdown.
Oh yeah.
Like
And,
timber.
and Amir that was when Amir was lighting everybody up, bro. I mean, he lit
was
me up
shocked,
too.
too.
He had the big war with Maidana. He had knocked out Salita in the first round. Prescott had got him. One thing I gotta say about Amir while we're on the subject, I don't think he's got as bad of a chin as people think. It's just he gets hit clean. He gets hit clean in the pocket.
Yeah, when you think about it, at 147,
he gets hit
he's
clean.
taking it.
You know, but he gets hit by guys who punch with him. If you try to box him, and I've said, I might have probably said this before because I know I've said this in passing. You can't box him here because he's a hard guy to time. You're not gonna do the punch and you're not gonna do the slip and punch that's counter punching. You have to do the punch with him. Guys that knocked him out or hurt him, they punch with him either by design like Danny Garcia or on accident just because they just throw a bunch of punches like Maidana that hurt him, or even Prescott who. At the moment he knocked out Amir, I don't think he was trying to punch with Amir. I think he was just throwing. You know,
he hurt him with like a jab, right? That was
yeah.
He probably was dying.
I don't know what.
Too,
I don't know
right?
why. I still don't know where the process was to get that Colombian guy in England. I mean, Prescott probably was another guy who was probably mismanaged overall because I saw him fight a couple other fights. I think he could actually fight. He was actually a pretty good fighter, and I thought his fight with Kevin Mitchell was a lot more competitive than they made it out.
But
to
I
be
remember
in
us talking about it, watching the video. It's like. He didn't realize how heavy this guy's hand is. He should have realized it right when he got hit with the first jab on the forehead, and he was like, "Oh."
You gotta know what you get. You gotta know what you get in
Colombians,
there,
like
right?
it's like their DNA is just to punch hard, bro. Like think about how many Colombians hit hard.
Ricardo Torres,
all those Colombians, Juan Arango, remember him?
Juan Arango, oh my god.
Then obviously those were the guys around my weight that I was looking at coming up the ladder. But then there's been like Hall of Fame fighters, like high level Colombian fighters who've been real like monster punchers, bro. Who was the guy that Monzon fought at the end of his career? That fought. We're gonna get Seth to look this up. I think he was Colombian too. He won the world title after Monzon retired. I don't know who was he. Was he? I think he might have been a Rodrigo Valdez or something. I'm
taking a look.
What's his name?
Oh, you got it.
Rodrigo Valdez. Was it?
There you go.
Yeah.
He's no longer with us. He died last year.
Did he? Oh, is he Colombian? Was he Colombian?
Let me check if he's Colombian.
I heard he was. I think he only got a drop.
Colombia.
Monzon.
There you go.
Colombia. See, only got to ever drop. Monzon.
Rivalry with Carlos Monzon was long been considered the most legitimary boxing rivalries.
Yeah. And think about it. We talk about great middleweights.
Trained by Gil Clancy. Trained by Gil Clancy. There you go.
I've got opinions on Gil Clancy, but rest in peace.
I'm just saying. I'm not gonna. He's a known trainer. What do you want from me? I don't know. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up.
Some guys in those old times, I still don't understand any of the technique. Like I think there was something about them that made good fighters, like Angel Dundee. Who I respect a ton. But I never heard Saw Dundee work the pads or actually give like a tactical advice.
He said back in the day there was no pads.
Or even Gil Clancy, like a tactical, like I don't know, like
what about
some trainers in the old days, like almost
Gil
like,
Clancy banned uppercuts from sparring because they were too dangerous. So how is your fighter going to throw them in the fight?
How's he going to not get hit with them in the fight? Like, what if his opponent's throwing uppercuts?
Like that mentality.
No uppercuts.
It's very dangerous. It busts up your face. We don't do that in sparring.
Don't like the uppercuts.
All right. It's going to happen in the fight though. I got news for you. I can guess.
How do you prepare for them?
Right.
That's like you make a rule when you're fighting your friends. Okay, no hitting in the face.
Right.
Okay, no uppercuts. All right, no uppercuts. All right.
It's gonna get you ready for battle.
But yeah, we talk about there's a lot of fighters that people don't realize how good they were. Anyway, but we got on the subject how Colombian punchers.
Yes.
Rodrigo Valdez was one of those Colombian punchers. We talk about great middleweights, and we don't mention guys like Valdez and whatnot. We mentioned Hagler, we mentioned Hopkins, we mentioned
Golovkin,
Martinez, Golovkin, whatever. There's guys like Rodrigo Valdez who fall through the cracks who were terrific fighters.
We got on that because we're talking about Prescott.
Only guy to ever drop Monzon, and yet speaking of Prescott, we talk about Colombians. It's like they're born with like
heavy
hammers
hands,
in their fists, bro. Like a lot of guys in Eastern Europe too, though. You know what I'm saying? I know like a lot of the Eastern Europeans have also been caught, or the rumors of performance-enhancing drugs and whatnot.
Break you.
But regardless, a lot of those guys in Eastern Europe also seem to have iron in their fists. But Colombians, bro, it's like. I don't know. It's like, remember when Ricardo Torres fought Cotto? Was that not one of the craziest fights you ever watched? That was a crazy fight. If you don't realize, Cotto fought so many great fighters. If you don't even realize, like some of the early fun fights.
Kendall Holt.
Yeah, when Ricardo fought Kendall Holt, yeah.
They fought in Barranquilla, Colombia.
Yeah.
Remember the first one?
That was the first one, yeah.
That was
and what about the second one?
They were hitting the kid with beer cans because he dropped the fighter from the crowd. Bro, Kendall got hit with a full beer can off the temple.
While he's in the neutral corner. Waiting for the count.
He got knocked out waiting for the count.
No, then he got stopped. I thought they stopped it early. But he got dropped too. It was a good fight.
They were killing each
Ricardo
other.
won the fight. Then the rematch, They both went. There was 3 knockdowns in the first round, and the last one was Torres out cold.
Was a headbutt though.
The old one too. Headbutt right hand.
It's a good combination.
Yeah.
He put him to sleep with that.
Kendall was another one. He was underrated. But Kendall Holt was a good fighter, man. Good world champion.
Good power
he didn't
too.
last long. Good power. Real smooth, slick, man. He was fast as hell, and he could really,
Another
really
one
hit.
that Danny
He
beat
could
on the way up.
really hit.
For all the people that say Danny's always cherry picking.
Yeah, I feel like Danny had a tough road on the way up, bro. He had to fight guys like Nate Campbell and Kendall Holt on the way up. Mike
Absolutely.
Arnudis was also a good prospect at one time.
And as good as
on the way up.
As good as Danny
Ashley
is.
Theophane on the way up. All on the way up before he ever fought for a world title. Like I feel like people that called Garcia a cherry picker. Yeah, maybe now they'd want to see him fight certain tougher fights, but he's not fighting total cherry picks either. I mean,
look at the weight class he's in.
You know what I feel bad for? I feel bad for Rod Salka. That fucking kid can fight, but I can fight at his own weight class, 130, maybe 135. Like everybody makes like he's another Rod Salka, bro. Jerk off. Rod Salka is probably one of the unluckiest guys in boxing because he actually probably deserves a big fight at 130, 135 pounds. Look at that kid's record. Watch him fight. I've seen him fight a couple other times besides the Garcia fight. That kid can fight, but at his own weight class. At his own weight class. Weight classes matter, especially when you don't do steroids.
Right.
But anyway,
Hey,
we're jumping all over the place today. I like it.
Hey,
We're
Salka
doing
won his
a lot
last
of
4
boxing.
fights.
Who?
5 fights, Salka.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Nobody talks about it. Nobody does. Bro, and he beats decent fighters too, bro. After losing to Garcia, he actually went in against Monty Meza Clay, who's not a bad fighter, and who was a local rival, who was like a 30-2 record, and beat him like 2 months later. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't say, "Oh man, I gotta take a soft touch. I got knocked out bad here. I'm gotta go
3
back
months
to my
later,
own,
you're right.
back to my own weight class." Bro, he went back to his own weight class and fought a tough fight and won it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but no. What does everybody do? Because he has no TV contract, so nobody ever sees him again. Because he never gets to fight on TV.
He's just known
so what
for
does
getting
everybody do?
crushed by
Oh,
Danny.
another Rod Salka. If you said another Rod Salka ever in your life talking about a bad opponent, you're a jerk off. You're a jerk off because Rod Salka is not the comparison to make. There's a lot of comparisons to make. Rod Salka is not one of them. Rod Salka can actually fight. He deserves a fight at 130, 135 though. He doesn't deserve a fight at 140. And maybe he wins and maybe he doesn't. But I tell you what, Rod will show you that he belongs in there.
Right.
And that's
Not a given.
That's all I have to say about that.
That's all I have to say about that.
Hey, what else caught your eye in this on the Spence card? I heard the heavyweight fight was really good. I didn't see it though.
Yeah, Adam Konaki.
Oh, Adam
won.
Konaki, man. Oh, boy, we remember Adam, me and Peter Cards remember Adam Konaki the first day he walked in the gym.
Yep.
Literally the first day he walked in the gym, I can remember this kid coming in, and then he just started getting in with everybody, fighting, sparring, and he's got the babiest of baby faces. Even now that he lost his hair, he's still like a bald head baby face, And it's just
love
like
him already.
And he's the nicest kid in the world. But
nicest
he'll
kid in the
rip your
world.
fucking
But
head
man,
off.
does he want to fight? Man, does he want to fight? And he would get in with all the guys' nose bleeding in the gym, mouth bleeding, and he'd be sparring hard, and everybody obviously starts to love him. You know what I'm saying? Who's training him? Country James was training him.
Country was training him.
Country
Glenn
training
had
him.
I think, for a little bit.
Yeah, so obviously he moved to Long Island now, and he's got a team from Long Island. But Adam,
He's with Keith.
he's with Keith,
Tremble.
yeah, Keith Trumbull. Yeah, so I mean, Adam was always a kid that trained super hard. Made sure he got his respect in there. You couldn't judge a book by its cover when it came to Adam Konaki. Won the Golden Gloves, right?
He lost the tour.
He lost the tour in the finals, but then he won one, right?
Did he? The next year?
I don't think he fought only one Golden Gloves, but he lost a tour. Tor Hamer, who
Which was a very close fight.
was a close fight, and Tor fought a couple of these. Tor won prize fighter in England, actually. That's where you English fans will know Tor Hamer from. Tor's in jail now, actually. I think he got caught drug dealing or something. But Tor won the prize fighter tournament, the old prize fighter tournament over in England. But anyway, he beat Adam in the Golden Glove finals in New York. Then I think Adam won it the next year, turned pro, slowly but surely come up the ladder. And now, bro, he still fights fun. All the fun sparring sessions we watched, when you see him fight, we kind of already know the deal, because I was always at him. So now he's doing it in the pro ring.
He started hitting
what a
harder,
good
though.
fight! Did you see that fight?
No.
Oh, that was a good fight. He was losing early on, bro.
That's what I wanted to see.
Because he's kind of a small heavyweight, but he's got all this pudge around him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing he said.
harder
That's one thing Brian Custer said in the fighter meetings. He said, Adam told us, he goes, I don't drink, I don't smoke. But man, there's a lot of Polish family parties, and he goes, I like to eat. It's hard to eat. And he goes, after I beat Szpilka, I got invited to a lot of parties, because he showed up for this fight 18 pounds heavier than he did for the Szpilka fight. So I got worried about it.
He was in camp for Szpilka. That was a big one.
He was in camp for this too. He was in camp for Povetkin, he said.
Oh, right, yeah.
So so when it came to this fight, I see this cruiserweight early on, the ex-cruiserweight he's fighting, because Adam, is small for heavyweight. Even though he weighs 260, it's just fat. He's not the size of a Joshua or anything, So he's, this guy's moving around the ring and outboxing him in the beginning. Adam, the way he comes forward, it's just like he's totally stone-faced. But no, you see, he's balanced, But then when he punches, he kind of lunges in a little bit. But he comes in, but he doesn't have the fastest feet. No. But he has a stoic face, so he doesn't show emotion, and he's just going after him. But the guy's moving too fast to even cut the ring off on him, and he's kind of stealing shots on him. And I'm like, man, I hope this weight doesn't hurt him, man, because this guy. But then he starts touching him little by little. One thing about Adam, you always know you're gonna get with Adam. He's gonna push it and make your life miserable. Even if you beat on him, he's gonna make your life miserable. And Adam started doing that, and he started getting to him. And man, he hit this guy. He dropped him. I think he dropped him once. Started landing more shots because he was going to the body a lot. He was going to the body trying to slow the guy down. And the guy was like trying to go to his body too, because I guess he's pudgy. But then he hit this guy with an uppercut. Adam had his own back to his neutral corner. He hit this guy in the middle of an exchange. He came with a right uppercut. This guy went across the whole ring like stumbling and fell in the other neutral corner, like stumbled across the whole ring, like and down, like it was hard, because by this point Adam was cut up and coming from his eye, his nose, but he had this guy's nose bleeding now too, or his mouth bleeding, because Adam had started beating on him good in the few rounds before that. And when this guy got up, he got up in no shape to continue. I mean, he got up, the guy beat the count, and if the ref was super nice, or depends on how you look at it, not super nice, he would have let him continue, but he would have just got hurt. Yeah, because he wasn't stumbling, but you can see he was hurt. And then
how great is this? The two of them end up in the same hospital room.
They did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Adam has cotton balls in his nostrils, and the guy's on the bed next to him, like laying back, and they're in the picture together.
That's a great shot.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's like Rocky,
But then you see Adam after the fight, because I'm in the corral and I'm yelling at him, like trying to get his attention. I didn't really succeed, and he's pointing with his glove to like his crowd, like his Polish people, like he's pointing to them, and he's like, Number one. Like, you see his game face, like he's got this baby face, but he's got this game face.
He's a killer.
Yeah, he's got a mean streak.
He killed Spilka, man, and I was like, this is a big fight. Like, I hope he does well. His second round, he crushed him. I was like, oh my god.
Bro, he'll always give you your money's worth. He'll always give you your money's worth. Like the heavyweight division is tough, man. I swear, if Adam can make cruiserweight, it'd be fun. Because
he's 260, so
yeah, but he's 260. He's pudgy. He's not big.
Pudgy, so we got to drop. How much you got to be with 205, 200?
But he weighed 240 for the last fight. It would take a big effort. He likes to eat.
No, he likes to eat.
Clearly,
it would take a big effort.
Hey, so let's stay in heavyweights for a minute. We got two big heavyweight fights coming up. Showtime.
But think about like maybe Adam will like the Dominic Brazil. Who doesn't hit hard, but he's big.
I think Dominic Brazil's a good fighter, man.
Yeah, but he's a harder.
Big guy.
Yeah, he's a big guy. I mean, Adam's gonna have to start fighting these guys now.
Bro, those guys. They both have no quit in them. That is a fan favorite fight.
You have to carry someone out of that one.
Oh yeah.
They both get hit too.
They both get hit, and they both love getting hit.
Brazil's got skills though, man. He shouldn't be getting hit.
He doesn't use his skills.
Right.
He doesn't have great balance.
Even Adam has little skills. He does his roll counter right hand and stuff like. He stays in the pocket, but he likes to roll.
He learned that style.
Yeah.
Brazil started late. He was a quarterback, and.
He's a quarterback.
Yeah. His balance is not the best, but he's just got a ton of character.
Heart, yeah.
He took a beating from Joshua.
All right, what about like a Gerald Washington first for Adam?
I think Adam beats him, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Or is he already past the Gerald Washington?
He might be.
Right? He might be past the Gerald Washington.
Depends how much money is
So then it's got to be Brazil, right?
Yeah,
Brazil's coming off a win. I mean, granted.
What about like a Dillian White or something?
He's got a big fight
Dillian White's
coming, right?
big too, though, man. He's not as big as Brazil, but he's big. And Dillian White... For Dillian White, it's honestly probably going backwards.
Chisora.
But it's probably maybe like a Derek Chisora, yeah.
I mean,
but then again, Derek Chisora is like a Gerald Washington at this point, no?
Yeah.
Maybe one of the guys.
But Dillian White may look at him and be like, I don't need to fight him. I don't know.
Right.
I mean, he's not known enough yet. Like Dillian White's pretty.
What about after Joshua crushes Parker?
That's what I'm saying. Or after Wilder Ortiz, maybe that if Ortiz loses.
Shot
And Adam gets a shot at like a Parker or something.
The guy coming down, yeah.
Yeah, maybe like a Parker could be
after Joshua murders him.
Is that what's going to happen?
If he's still alive.
You think so? You think he's?
What do you think, Paulie?
I think Parker's a pretty good fighter. I mean, listen, I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to tell you that he's going to beat Joshua
too, right?
Yeah. But that guy can fight, though, bro.
Yeah.
No,
that guy's not bad.
He's coming. He's tough. He's New Zealand
try.
Rugby player. He's coming to fight.
He's going to try.
Oh, New Zealand.
I know that doesn't translate to boxing skills.
New Zealand will give you some heavyweights here and there, bro. Remember David Tua? He was in there too.
He was a bull. He
I
was
remember
like,
then out of
the next
nowhere there was like
Tyson
this
for a minute.
rival with this
Right.
guy Shane Cameron or something. We wanted to fight him, and we don't even know who he is here. But apparently it was like a big rivalry. They made like a mega fight on pay-per-view, and Tua knocked him out like one
Killed
round.
him, yeah.
And before,
One thing you had to have with Tua, you couldn't get hit.
I thought Tua, whatever, with Abiyabuchi.
Oh,
A lot of people
war.
don't know who Ike Abiyabuchi
Yeah.
is.
undefeated heavyweight, man. He
Nah,
could've-
if you want to watch a fun heavyweight fight, you watch Abiyabuchi and Tua. Yep.
He was a-
Abiyabuchi and Tua was.
everyone wanted to know his name.
went
If
to
he go
jail.
to jail.
Abiyabuchi was just out of his mind,
Yeah.
off his rocker. Like he needed like a 24/7 psychiatrist with him.
What
But
did he do? He did something to his wife.
He did. First, he went to jail for like. Was it something molesting or something? I don't know. I don't even know. Don't
look it
quote
up.
me on it. Something with sexual assault though. He had some
Something, yeah.
kind of sexual assaults. Then after that, he comes out and he kidnaps his girlfriend's son. And goes on like a high speed chase with the cops or something with the kid in the car or
right.
something like he was a lunatic.
Yeah.
But bro, he was good.
Great.
He was
Phenomenal
fun.
chin.
He beat David Tua when
Good
they were both
power.
undefeated. Yo, if you want to watch a fun heavyweight fight, watch IKB.
We got robbed. We got robbed of some good fights potentially.
Yeah.
Lennox Lewis.
Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do?
I thought Tua
that
was
guy,
gonna
that
beat
guy's probably
Lennox
better
Lewis.
off in jail.
Yes,
I know you want to see
yes.
the fun fights, but
No,
there's probably some
I'm-
people alive on this planet today because that guy's in jail.
No, I'm happy. I'm happy for that for sure. And before that fight, we got Wilder Ortiz. Oh, that
That's
happened.
what happens with the new. Is it? Are we still on? Yeah, we're still on. That's what happens with the new. See, there's new studios. With our microphones are falling. We got no studio time. We got little studio time. We got nobody here letting us in the building. We got a rude lady that checked my ID downstairs.
No, that was last time.
Our microphones are breaking. Our pets' heads are falling off. What's going on over here, Seth? Where are we in this
Seth,
place?
you gotta say, I took care of it.
Harry.
I took care of it.
That's all
Petey
good.
didn't even have a head. Harry.
Hey, well, I was saying before that the Joshua Parker fight, we have Wilder Ortiz. If it actually happens, well, hopefully it will happen
It's
this
gonna
time.
happen this time.
What?
Wilder Ortiz.
I'm
It's
excited
gonna
about
happen
that
this
fight, man.
That's a good one.
What do you think?
I mean, I'm as excited as I'm gonna get. Like I said, my curiosity is for a guy that keeps failing steroid tests and he has a big knockout percentage. I mean, how legitimate is his knockout percentage? Is it due to the steroids or is it due to that he's naturally strong? I don't know at this point. He's probably done so much steroids that it's naturally in him at this point. You know what I'm
I just
saying?
want to see two
That the
big
power is
guys
just-
crush
you know.
each other. You know,
I think you're gonna see the best jab of Wilder. I mean, I don't see Deontay looking to stay on the inside with Ortiz.
would
But
be
Ortiz
dumb.
is a southpaw, so maybe it'll be interesting to see how Deontay jabs the southpaw. But he's got the height, so he can jab down at him. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting. Deontay is a jab like a lightweight, bro.
Yeah,
It's
he
a
does.
real snappy,
Piston.
heavy jab, man.
he was very
Mark
impressive.
Breland, his trainer, had a terrific jab. I mean, this guy was maybe the best U.S. amateur ever. He was 110-1 in the amateurs, 5-time New York Golden Glove champion, Olympic gold medalist in the 1984 Los Angeles Games, and a 2-time world champion as a pro. One of the best jabs you'll see. He was 6'1". He's a 6'1" welterweight. Obviously, that helps. Nowadays they would have told him to go to light heavyweight. Because everybody else does by taking steroids. But come
on, you're tall. You got the frame.
Breland only
Pack
fought
on
at
muscle.
welterweight, and he was as a pro. He probably didn't go as
didn't
far
have
as
the
people
best chin.
expected, but he still won 2 world titles. He was a terrific fighter. Great jab. I mean, one of the best jabs you'll see. And I think part of the reason the success is so good with Wilder and the marriage is so good with Wilder is because you have a guy when Wilder was tall for his weight class and a lanky frame can shoot that jab like that, and Breland understands that frame for that weight class and the height for that for what it's like to have the height for a certain weight class you're in, and to have that kind of frame for a certain weight class you're in.
The advantages are
I
known
think
how
it's
to
great.
use
I mean,
them.
I think Wilder's got a fun team. I mean, listen, it was JD's with these. These DES. Yeah.
these nuts. What?
You guys are retarded. Yeah, listen. He was working with Russ Amber. I don't know if he's still with Russ. With the hand wrapping and
Rival.
I don't know, man.
gloves and
He looked
whatnot.
like he took it to another level in the last fight. I mean,
He did.
Well, a first round knockout always looks like it took it to another level. But
I'm just saying that
let's
just
see,
the way he looked in that
his
round.
Jab,
Yeah.
his jab would look really impressive. And if I see that same kind of jab in this fight, I expect the same kind of fight.
But think about-
because heavyweights don't deal with that kind of jab, bro.
Well,
I'm telling you, that's a welterweight jab, bro. You don't deal with that kind of a jab, that kind of speed at that weight class. I mean,
Lennox
it's like
Lewis,
something you never seen.
he went with Emmanuel Stewart. He gave him the
That's why Ali was so
1-2.
good, too.
Lennox Lewis couldn't beat him after he was jabbing right 1-2.
Yep.
He took him. He couldn't
Yep.
touch him.
Yep.
If Deontay has that same kind of discipline with
Yep.
that jab, how are you going to get to him? Like, you know. And Klitschko too. He did the same thing with Klitschko.
A lot of people used to shit on Lennox, so I'm curious.
I wasn't always, you know, I used to.
what the heavyweights nowadays would do with Lennox.
Right.
A lot of prime Lennox.
Tough. He's a tough guy to deal with. But these guys are as big as he is now, though.
He
That's
was
the thing
really
too.
good, though. He was really good.
Emmanuel took him
He
to the
was
next
really
level.
good.
No. I thought Emmanuel Stewart
I remember saying,
got the best
he's got
out of
no
him.
chin. This one's gonna beat him. That one's gonna beat him.
Well,
But you look back on his career and you're like,
He got
"Oh,
knocked
God, it
out
was
twice
fucking
because he got hit
amazing."
by heavyweights, clean shots.
Yeah.
Anyone's you're gonna go. You
that
get
way,
like that.
that way you get hit with those shots.
Yeah, he got hit by big punches too.
I won some nice money on that Rockman fight.
Did
I did.
Did you
15 to 1.
you win the rematch?
$200. I lost the rematch.
You bet again. You would bet the rematch.
Why
I
not?
remember he was like, "Oh, the rematch, Lennox is gonna kill him." I was like, "You think so?" He goes, "Oh yeah."
I bet with my heart because I like
Yeah.
Rockman and everything. I wanted him to
I
win
always
again.
like Rockman. A cool
Yeah.
guy too.
Hey, they had a parade for me. He fell out of the car. You remember that?
Yeah.
What about when they were
Right.
tackling each other on ESPN? The two at the
Oh yeah,
there was like
on first take or something,
First Take or
something like first
yeah.
take. What
was
it was
great.
at that time. Yeah, when they tackled each other, that was like Frazier and Ali. Remember Frazier and Ali? Look out, Joe! And he started tackling each other.
He's like gorilla. He's hitting
Yeah.
there. Yeah, he's crazy. But that stuff, they should do that. I don't even care if that was fake. Like, it's fun to watch that stuff to get people excited about the
Of
fight.
course, people. Well, clearly. People love it even if it's fake because wrestling is so popular. You remember
Right.
I was at
Oh,
Raw
God.
20. I was at Raw
Don't
25
start.
last night.
Did
I
you
went-
go?
Start.
I went
I gotta
there live.
leave.
Yeah,
You went
I
to
went there live.
Barclays you went, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
not the Manhattan Center. It was
I had,
terrible.
I had dinner with Stone Cold Steve Austin a couple nights ago. Because,
Did you?
Yeah, because my my agent, my acting and Hollywood agent, Ryan Hayden, is also Steve Austin's agent. So
No kidding.
He came into town. And he's like, "Yo, I'm in town. I'm with Steve Austin. You come, let's meet up."
Thanks
So
for
when-
inviting me, Paulie.
When I
Thanks.
had dinner, it's great stories. I mean, I'm not gonna get into them now. Some great stories.
till we're off
he
the
was
air.
telling me, yeah. Yeah.
Good guy, though, right? Seems
Yeah,
like he's-
real cool,
yeah.
real cool guy, man. Yeah, he's
like a
he's
real
like a
redneck?
guy. Yeah, not even like a real redneck. He's lived in LA for 14 years.
Oh,
man. Yeah.
You know what's cool about him?
And that's just his act then.
Yeah. I mean,
No, he's-
I mean, listen, he's a Texan.
yeah.
Right.
He's a Texan. I
Tough,
mean,
good old
but-
boy. Yeah,
But he's lived in LA for 14 years. You know, you assimilate. You know, to where you
last night he was able to get the crowd crazy. He didn't say one word.
are. Yeah.
He didn't have to talk one
Yeah.
word.
He cracked
It
open
was
a beer.
crazy.
Yeah, a bunch of beers.
Yeah,
He's stunning everything.
100 beers.
Being the
Stunner,
best
everybody
man.
got stunners across the board. Shane McMahon. Shane
Vince.
McMahon. Does Shane McMahon not take the best stunner? He's probably taking so many that he knows how to take them the best. Did you see? I mean, I don't know if you saw it on TV, but live. You watched it or no?
I watched it.
Did you see
I had to talk about
when he
Taz
gets the
today.
second stunner because he gets stunned twice? Does he
Yeah.
not? The second stunner, he's got a mouthful of beer because you know how Stone
Spit
Cold
it
makes.
out, yeah.
Stone Cold makes like he's giving him a beer or whatnot, and then he takes a swig of beer and he gets a stunner, and as he gets a stunner, he spits out
So
the
did
beer. So
Steve.
it makes it like the effect of the stunner. Like,
And Steve spit it out too at the same time. And you know what Vince did? Vince
Vince is great too. Vince just lies dead.
Vince said, "Stun my son. He's in good shape. I'm
Yeah.
old. I'm a senior citizen." So when they walk over to Shane, Vince actually poured his beer on his own son. Just
Yeah, he
to
did.
bust his balls. Yeah.
But it was
Yeah.
a great. It was just great. But you know what's funny? When Stone Cold was stunning everybody, there's like the guy outside the ring, the guy who works in cameras, like throwing the beers into the ring. You know?
Yep.
Because it's not like another wrestler throwing the beers.
No, it
It's
calls
somebody
for 'em.
off camera.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of the guys who like one of the.
Guys
Production
who work
guys,
there,
yeah,
yeah.
working. He was tossing them beers, and a couple times the beers like they got overthrown, underthrown, bro. As Vince is laying dead, one of them almost hit him in the head, bro. Of
course.
I caught it, bro. Because
You got
I'm
it?
like,
Oh, you
and
saw
I
it.
remember it fell on the floor and it rolled off this rib. You know, he was like just laying dead, and I'm like, wow. Vince has no idea he almost got hit with a full beer can from fucking 20 feet away.
That would
I
not
was like,
feel
that guy is laying dead too comfortably with beers flying into the ring like that, bro.
Gotta sell.
Yeah, you might
Gotta
have to
sell
roll
it.
over or something. You know, he was just dead
Yeah,
like that.
do
He was
this
just
one.
dead. Yeah, exactly. Put your hand on your forehead. At least Shane like pretends like he's trying to get up, like he does like a half roll, like he's rolling over, like he's dying, and then he moves a little bit, like he look like he's in agony, you know, like Vince just lays dead. Vince just lays dead. He takes a nap for like 20 minutes.
The guy's 100. One of these days he's really gonna die.
They're gonna make you. You gotta be like a mouthpiece of a team. Like bring some Italian team seamen. They used to have full-blooded Italians. They called them, except a couple of them weren't Italian, which was
FBI?
funny. The FBI, yeah, the FBI, the full-blooded Italians. And
You
they
know
come
what
out.
FBI
and-
stands for? Forever bother the Italians.
There you go. Sorry, I'll leave the Italians alone. Yeah, you should be working with wrestling. You'd be a good mouthpiece.
Yeah.
We should wrap up the
manager.
show because I'm going to
all
get
right.
a ticket. That's
All
a
right,
fact.
see you guys later.
Yeah. All right.
We're talking about wrestling. We're gonna piss everybody off now. Remember they got mad at us when we talked about wrestling?
Yeah, I mean, you
talk
don't
about a
like
little bit
it.
about
You don't
everything.
like it when he talks about soccer, but now you're all excited because he's talking about wrestling.
All right, well, we talk about soccer.
Well, instead of letting Pete get a ticket, we
It's the
might
end
have
of
to
the
go off
show.
the air. Oh, this weekend we got Lucas Matisse. Who's he fighting, Lucas Matisse? He's fighting for the
Just saw his
WBA
name.
regular title, which
Tawan Kareem.
which I know I had the WBA title, and I had
Guys,
the real one.
38, no, 28 knockouts. he's
Yeah, I
fighting.
know, but I don't know who that guy
From
is.
where?
From
Yeah. Who did he fought? He fought 38 times. He fought you 36 times. And he
Hey.
fought me 2 times.
Hey, I give
And
him
I
a good
had
fight.
him.
You know what's crazy? He's never been a real world champion, Lucas Matisse. It's amazing. He's never won a real world title. I think he had the WBC interim when he had to fight Danny Garcia. Then he fought Garcia and lost. And now,
He gets his quit on.
yeah.
You know, he hits
Fought Lamont
really hard.
Peterson. He fought Lamont Peterson. Get this, the Lamont Peterson fight. I remember because I did the fighter meetings. The Lamont Peterson fight was at 141 when Lamont had the IBF 140-pound title. Lucas Matisse did not want to fight for the IBF title because he wanted to fight for the WBC title of Danny Garcia. So he wanted the title fight to be a non-title fight so that he could retain his mandatory status for Garcia. I don't know what genius was doing his business
That's
at the time,
the
but then he
dumbest
beats
fucking thing
Lamont,
ever, right?
doesn't win the world title.
Right.
Then he gets beat by Danny Garcia, doesn't win the world title, obviously. And now he's fighting for WBA secondary title, which I have a hard time considering
real
the world title.
fucking genius
I have a
that
hard
was,
time
huh?
I have a hard time considering that belt the main title.
Get me his manager's contact.
Yeah, but anyway, so that's the deal. Should be fun. Who else is on that card, Seth?
It is Lucas Matisse. Another Linares is fighting.
Oh,
on that
Linares.
fight, too.
Yes. Linares.
That's against
Linares is
Masito.
fighting Masito Hesta. Yeah, Masito's not a bad fighter. I
So
wanna
lost
see how
one
he's going
fight.
along. Yeah, Masito lost the title fight to Miguel Vasquez. For the IBF 135-pound title. So interesting. Yeah, I always thought Masito was a bit of an underachiever. He's a pretty good fighter.
I want
so
these
wanna see how-
lightweights to start fighting each
And
other.
he fights
man.
pretty, and he hits pretty hard. Masito's got decent punching power too. So we'll see.
That's always tough with Linares.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So be interesting. Will be interesting to see because if Linares wins, you're obviously in the conversation for Easter, Mikey, all that other stuff. So
Yep.
well, lightweight's a little fun weight class. People don't talk about it. Richard Kami's there, obviously, and all that other good stuff. Lomachenko is like
30.
he's kind of up. He's kind of there
he's hovering.
floating.
He's
He's
hovering
hovering where he could be there.
We need some. We need him to have a challenge. He can always
Yeah.
challenge him 130. No one's touching him.
Anyway, so that's it. All right. Next week I'm actually flying to England, so I don't know. I'll figure
Can't
out.
call us. I'll
figure
on
out.
the phone or something.
I'll figure out what I'm gonna do. Well, you guys can do a show without me, no? No.
It's the magic hour. We're amateur.
There's nothing magical about me.
We're amateur magicians.
You guys have no enthusiasm when I'm not here, bro.
Yeah, we have a great.
You know what I'm saying? I've heard you guys' show when I'm not here. You guys are like, yeah, so. Guys, it's not an IBM meeting. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get excited. You got the
All right, fucking Mr. Enthusiastic. over
Yeah.
here.
The fans want to hear it, bro. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Come on.
take it easy.
Well, guys on Twitter, let
you can't
Peter
get on the phone?
Cards
You
and
can't
Seth
call?
Merriman know that if I'm not
You
around,
can't get on the phone?
they gotta keep the enthusiasm on.
We're too busy.
Bro, let me tell you
Phone
something.
call.
Let me tell you something. The phone calls from Europe, they get a little bit costly.
Oh my God! Send me a
a
check.
Calling transatlantic.
I support 4 kids. I'll support your phone bill too.
You know
Give me a
what?
phone bill,
What
right?
sport reminds me. One time when I was on an amateur trip, I was 17. We flew to England. I figured out how to, if you press 9 on the room phone, that you can
You get an outside line.
you can get it outside line.
Look at this.
I told all my teammates. We all started calling the U.S. Bro, we racked up such phone bills.
Nice.
Figured it out.
I was
though,
the
huh?
ringleader. I was the ringleader of this.
You really split those atoms, huh? If you dial 9.
Bro, you're in England. I don't know if that works. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously it did. At that time, there was no cell phones.
Right.
We used to go to the payphone down the street. We were in Liverpool.
Well, where are you gonna be? We can call you. All right, it won't cost you nothing.
I'll let you know.
Oh yeah, get a whole landline or something. You know?
Look at you.
We're gonna be at
Look
the,
at me.
Look at me. And look at me. I'm leaving.
All right.
See ya.
That's it for this week's Magic. This week's I get confused with the friggin' name of the show. This week's Magic Hour. All right. We'll catch you guys next week.